Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Questions With. Last week we had some amazing guests on the show, and boy, did we deep dive into their worlds. But here's the best part. We also uncovered their fun and playful sides. Our host, Scott Fullerton, has a treat for you today. You see, 5 Questions isn't just about serious stuff. We like to keep it light and quirky too. We ask questions that let our guests show their wonderfully unique and playful sides. Imagine this. What would they do if they woke up as a squirrel one day? Or what's their favorite ice cream flavor that describes their personality? It's all about bringing out their hidden quirks and having a blast along the way. We believe that even the most successful and accomplished individuals have a fun side, and we're here to celebrate that. So get ready to witness the fun and playful side of our extraordinary guests. You'll laugh, you'll smile, and you might just discover a thing or two about them that you never knew. So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready for the show.
All righty, everyone. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. Back in the studio with me, my very special guest, Mr. Jim Verraros is here. His brand new single, Take a Bow, came out last week. If you missed our interview, check out the link below. And if you haven't picked up the song yet, what are you waiting for? Get out there, pick it up. Jim, welcome back to Left of Str8 Show, my friend.
Hello, thank you for having me back.
We had a great chat. I'm so excited. You ready to play a little 5 questions?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. We had to talk about being an OG of American Idol 21 years ago. You're back into music again, which I'm so excited about. If you were to form a new band with 3 or 4 of American Idol alums from across any season, who would you form that band with, and what would you call yourselves?
That is a very good question. I'm very biased because there were some exceptional people from my season.
Right.
RJ Helton, 100%. EJ Day, 100%. David Hernandez, 100%. Adam Lambert, probably. And then I would probably bring in Adore Delano to shake it up.
Nice. I like it. Any idea what you'd be called?
Oh, God.
It's a tough one.
Oh, I don't know if I can come with it that fast. Give me a second. Let's come back to it.
Maybe. All right. Well, if we get back to it, no pressure. I mean, that's very quick. All right. Question number 2, my friend. We talked about your son of deaf parents. You're well versed in American Sign Language. What was maybe the thing you got away with because of it when you were younger, and what did you not get away with?
Oh, God. So what I didn't get away with was basically swearing at my sister at the dinner table because I would always try and block my mouth with a napkin and then basically call her names. And then my mom would always know, and she'd, smack my hand away from my mouth. So that didn't work out well. But what we did get away with was a lot more. And that was actually encouraged behavior from my mother. She actually, I don't even know if I should tell you this. She took us to Great America. And my sister and I and my mom went to Great America. We were I was probably 11 or 12. And she told my sister and I to pretend to be deaf because then we'd get in at a discount. So my sister and I walk up to the ticket window and we are signing, and they can't sign back. And so they slip us a piece of paper underneath the little ticket window and we write, "We are deaf. How much for admission?" And they said $15 because it was a very significant discount because they had television screens while you were waiting in line with no closed captioning. So every time my sister and I would go back and forth from the park to the car, we'd have to be signing to each other. And then, so yeah, terrible, awful, and not good. But yes, this was encouraged by my mother.
When you're 11 years old, you can get away with stuff like that. I love it. Very, very cool. Yeah. And I can relate to the discounts. My dad, we always tease my dad was the biggest cheap ass bastard I knew, but such a sweet guy. But we would only I'm from Southern California. Okay. We would only get to go to Disneyland if it was bank days because there was a discount. So I hear you. I know how it goes with parents. Yeah. All right. Question number 3. Obviously, You've been on a reality show, huge, the OG of American Idol. If you were to go on another reality show, but it couldn't be related to singing, which would you choose? A dance competition, a Big Brother Survivor type show, a cooking competition, a trivia show, or a dating show if you weren't with your wonderful husband, Sean?
I think I would go on. I'm split. A part of me looks at Dancing with the Stars and thinks that could be really fun, actually. And then I think I really love food because cooking, but I would do like the British Bake Off just because I think they're hysterical. And whenever I see like a new, season up on Netflix, I'm like, oh, we have to watch it. And Sean's like, oh, this is so dumb. But I am such a sweets guy. So like, I just find it interesting and there's such an art to it. So I'd probably say one of those two shows.
Nice. I like it. All right, and I talked about the interview. I've been a fanboy since forever for 21 years. You have going on tour, you're meeting people. It's kind of a new television thing. Who do you fanboy over? And did you ever have an encounter that was either really fun or really embarrassing from American Idol days?
Ooh. Who do I fanboy over? I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I do and I don't, just because of we've had a relationship. But honestly, for 21 years, Kelly has been my number one. I stan her all day long. We just went to Vegas, to see her residency. I see her on tour when she's here. I buy her songs. I whore her out to people that maybe don't listen to her, or maybe like just don't really, she's not in their catalog. She is the most prolific voice of our generation. There is no one that can do what this woman does. And so I think that I just respect the shit out of her, and I also know what an incredible human she is. And so for me, she's the ultimate. Every gay's got their girl, right? Whether it's Christina Aguilera or Britney or Ariana, Mariah, whoever it is. Every gay, like for my husband, it's Madonna, right? Love Madonna. Kelly will always be that for me for many reasons, but I think just seeing her over these last, particularly the last like 5-6 years, I just think she's even better than she was. I think she's not even peaked yet, but she's as good as she ever was now. And so I just love her. I think she's amazing. Whenever she's touring, we try and make sure to see her. It's been a couple of years since I've seen her in person, but that girl, man, I mean, people need to be like throwing their money at her because she's the real deal.
I hear you, man. I couldn't even ask about her on your regular interview because I'm such a fan. It's like
Same.
she's the person. I can't really even jump in there. I mean, her interview on Las Culturitas
Oh
or
my
Las Culturitas, she is just so open and fun and just the
God.
person you want to go have a beer with and then have barbecue afterwards, right?
Seriously, like she'll,
Oh,
drinks with or shoot the shit with and laugh with. Like she's just an incredible person, truly.
I hear you. Like I said, I'm such a fanboy. I couldn't even ask you about her during the interview. So I hear you. All right. Question number 5. Let's do a little time travel. If you can go back to any event, cultural, musical, anything, and go relive it in person, what would you like to go revisit in time?
Ooh, you know what? I think if I could revisit a moment, it would be when Barack Obama won his first term. And the reason why that is because I will never forget just looking at this sea of people. And we all just felt so together. We all just felt so happy. And we all felt, even if there was turmoil and people who didn't, love him, I just felt like in that moment, the country felt together. It felt like we all had come together and we truly did want this person. And it was just this overwhelming feeling of like, okay, we're in a good place. and I don't think we've had that for a very long time in this country.
Doesn't it feel like it was 40 years ago and it's only been 6 years how things have gone downhill so fast? It's crazy.
I just think that there's so many things I could talk about on a political level that legitimately make me very, very angry. And one of them is just the total lack of responsibility, within Congress. I don't think that there's all bad apples, but I do think that on both sides, and I don't want to be, obviously I'm a very liberal, Democrat, obviously, but I just do not understand how these just ridiculous, I won't even call them humans, get into office and lie. I mean, it's one thing if you come up with other options or other, other choices, or it's like, what is that party doing? Like, they're not doing anything. They're trying to impeach Biden right now. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're wasting taxpayer dollars. You're wasting money. We are trillions of dollars in debt. And all you can do is point out that drag queens are touching little children and shouldn't be having, story time. Like, meanwhile, go into any church. Like, look at the stories that come into we just literally, Trixie Mattel had said this in an interview. Like, we literally coddle religion in this country. And it's just total bullshit. Like, I don't understand. It is so black and white and it is so blatant. And yet there's a big group of people in this country that are very blind to it. The fact that Trump has been prosecuted, or not prosecuted, but indicted like a million times is still basically going to be like the nominee for the should tell you everything that you need to know about where this country is going. So I say that in that moment because it made me feel so far away from where we are right now. It is very disturbing. And I think of my trans friends, and I think of my my other gay and lesbian friends in this country, and anyone who identifies as other than straight,
right,
particularly in places like Florida, right, and how endangered their lives are, but they can't afford to flee that state. It's like we've taken so many steps forward, and yet I feel like we are still so far behind in so many ways.
Well said, my friend. I'm with you. I used to be very political on my shows. I don't anymore because I get so pissed off these days. I just
Literally,
can't do it.
Jim, shut up, because this is supposed to be a podcast.
We'll start our own podcast for this last year of the election. That's all there is to it.
The most expletives probably thrown around in politics. I
There
just
you go.
the words anymore. I just don't.
Well, Jim Verraros, you made it through 5 questions. Thank you so much. Again, you guys, if you missed our interview, check the link down below. We had a great chat. The new music is out now. Jim, where's it available? Where can they find you on social media?
It is available everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, wherever you purchase your music is there. Again, follow me on Instagram at Jim Verraros is my handle. I'd love to meet you guys and help have you guys support, and follow me on Journey 2.0.
There you go. Jim, you're the bestest. I can't wait to see where this all leads to. Guys, thanks for listening to 5 Questions With. We'll be back next week with another full set of interview questions, because if it's Tuesday, it's 5 Questions With. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Left of Str8 Show. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. Today, I'm bringing back our favorite guest from last week. Mr. David Cruz is back. He is the owner and co-founder with his best friend, Alan, of Fruit Loops. It's an amazing gifting company where you can find great products created by LGBT-owned women, person of color. A fantastic business. David, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
We had a great time. If you missed our interview last week, be sure to check it all out. The link is right down below there. You can find out all about David and Alan's company there. Are you ready to play a little 5 questions, my friend?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, we're going to go from the serious to the silly here. Question number 1. We talked a little bit about your interview. You had this amazing company you ran for quite a while called Finding Cupid. What's the best romantic gesture you can give to a loved one these days, along with, of course, a Fruit Loops romance box?
Definitely Fruit Loops romance box. The most romantic like gesture that I think, just is always my hard number one here is a handwritten note just about the profession of your love and time together. That never gets old. It's something that's, that's how my husband proposed to me, was in a book that was just all these wonderful writings of our time together. Never underestimate the power behind a handwritten note and just feelings. So that is my number one, handwritten notes or love letters.
Great advice. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. Fantastic. All right, question number 2. Now we'll get into the silly for sure. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, but you got it delivered by your favorite LGBT person, not your husband, real or fictional, what would be the food and who would deliver it?
Oh my God. Okay, well, since clearly the rules have gone out the door here, I want to say I would love a fresh batch of the most delectable croissants in the world being delivered to me, holy moly, by, let's say, my husband and I have this shared affinity for Ricky Martin. So
Good
let's
choice.
go with him.
Good
And he's single
choice.
now,
I
so
love
I don't know.
if you're gonna have croissants ordered, why not have Ricky deliver them? All right, question number 3. You've co-created this great new gifting company, Fruit Loops. What's the best gift you've ever gotten, and what's the best gift you've ever given to someone else?
Oh, gosh, so many gifts over the years. But my husband still is like hardcore number one great gift giver. I still think like the best gift that he's ever, I mean, there's been a lot, so this is going to be, debatable, but I think for me, the best gift that he's ever given me was really, when he proposed to me. It was this beautiful book that he made. He took this old book from, gosh, I don't even know where he found it, and just crafted on top of it and, put pictures inside of it of, us through the years. And at the very back of it, I don't know if everyone knows this story, but like he carved out a big chunk of the book. And so it had a little box in the back of it. And it had this bracelet that he got from Tiffany's. And on it, it said, "Marry me." And that is still the gift itself, like the levels of the amazingness that that gift was. It still is number one in my heart. The best gift I've ever given, gifts are about how well you know the person and the emotion that you want to bring to that person's life. And I think the gifts don't have to be grand. The gifts don't have to be expensive. I think it's really about the thought that you put into a gift. I've given gifts, as simple and easy as candles, to, gifts that were part of trips that we were on, gifts that maybe somebody had, I was on a trip with somebody and they mentioned that they loved it, but never got the gift. And then it showed up that Christmas. I think that's what makes a gift special. And you got to be a great listener when you're with the best of friends or the closest of family. When you listen, the gift comes to you. And when you give that, that's what makes that gift special. So be great listeners and the gifts will come as easy as that.
Such great advice. We talked about it in the show. I mean, if someone, a sense of humor, we have a sense of humor as gays. If someone has a great sense of humor and you got them the most fantastic gag gift ever, they will love you forever. I mean, I think that's so true. Very, very, very cool. All right, question number 4. Along those lines, here's another silly one. What is your most popular curated box at Fruit Loops? And what would happen if your guilty pleasure song played every time someone ordered it? What would the box be? And what would the song be to their torment or delight every time they ordered it?
Ooh, it's so funny. Ellen and I talk about this all the time. There is a solid tie between our happy box and our pride box. They go back and forth. Obviously, Pride shoots to the top of our bestsellers list during June. But our happy box has spa items and like things just to make your day and life feel great. So there's all sorts of like wellness stuff inside of it. So as a tie for those two, I want to say whenever the happy box plays, to the demise of some people's ears, I want the happy song to play, like the God, it was from the Trolls Trolls movie. I think that's what it was.
Pharrell one
The-
or whatever his name is. The
Yes.
happiness.
Yeah, the Pharrell one. Wait, maybe I'm mixing those two up. But the Pharrell one, I love the because I'm happy. That one, yeah. I like that song. That is Pharrell.
I
But
like
the
it.
Justin Timberlake one is the Trolls one. That's
Oh,
also
there
a
you
great
go.
one
You're
too.
right. All right. You're right.
But I like the Pharrell one playing happy when the happy box sells. For the Pride one, I'm going to update this. You know, we are hardcore Kylie Minogue fans here. Before Kylie Minogue had Padam Padam, you know, we were Kylie Minogue fans, and both Alan and myself and my husband love Kylie. So I want to say whenever the Pride box sells, we're let's say all the lovers whenever that box sells, because it really is just about, you know, love who you love. And I believe if I remember this right, that's why she wrote that song. So I want that to just play over and over again because it's kind of an anthem for Pride.
Great answer. And she's such an ally. You have to send her a Pride box when she does her first show in Vegas. That's all there is to it. Send
I
it
got
back
tickets
to
to see her too. I'm so excited to go see her.
That's going to be exciting. All righty. All right. Question number 5. Fruit Loops, as we said, reminds me of a cereal. What's your favorite go-to breakfast meal and your favorite breakfast spot in LA?
Oh gosh. Okay, so this is like, again, the thing that my dentist loves and the thing that I hate. But I'm a sweets person. I said, you know, Ricky Martin's delivering me fresh croissants. So I'm a pastry kind of guy. So, you know, my go-to should be, you know, something healthier, but it really is like a fresh croissant or a fresh sort of pastry, French pastry in the morning. I will die on a sword to have that happen to me, you know, every morning of my life without consequence. But, you know, we can't do that. So yes. And my favorite breakfast spot, oh goodness. If I'm saying I want pastries and all of that, it's Bottega Louie, which also has amazing pastries there. It's right in the heart of Boys Town. But my near and dear place is Dialogue Cafe, which is not even, you know, 100 feet from where I live here in West Hollywood, and they're wonderful, and they have the best coffee and the best people that work there and the best breakfast burritos in Los Angeles. So those are the two answers. Sorry, I'm always giving two answers.
Oh, that's okay. I'm in love. I'm the same way. I mean, you could keep your chocolate, give me bread or something like that anytime. No. I'm a bread and pastry person. So yeah, I hear you, my friend. All right. Well, we made it through 5 questions, David. Let everyone know where they can find your fantastic company. Give the website, and then you do great social media. Give your social media as well.
Yes, you can follow Fruit Loots on all social media platforms at Hey Fruit Loots, and that's spelled Fruits. I'm sorry, Fruitloots. And you can shop Fruit Loots 24/7 at fruitloots.com.
Super duper. David, thanks so much for playing 5 questions. Guys, if it's Tuesday, we'll be back with another 5 questions with. Stay tuned and have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Left of Str8 Show. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast distributor, and please give us a 5-star rating so more listeners can find us. You can follow us on social media, and be sure to check out our website, www.leftofstraightradio.com, for contests and other news and information. See you next week.